Welcome to this special GA4 edition of Fireside Chat, where we bring together two seasoned professionals in the field of data analytics to discuss the pressing topic of GA4 migration. We have Arpit today, who has been working in this field for over 16 years, and joining him is Shahzad, an expert who has successfully implemented GA4 in over 150 projects.
Alright, so I have got Shahzad with me, and then we thought to sit and discuss about GA4 migration. He has done close to 150 successful GA4 migration. So I believe that there could be a lot of insights and best practices that we can share with our audience.
Yeah.
So Shahzad, the first thing I want to understand is around account structure. So when you implement any analytics, you have to decide how you really sort of manage and organize your data in a good, clean way. And if we take any enterprise as an example, generally they have 4 or 5 brands, they have a marketing website, they've got application. So, and if I relate that in the Adobe world, you have ability to do multi-suite tagging, you've got virtual report suites. So how does that work in GA4 world? Because I know in Universal Analytics we used to have views, which is missing in GA4.
Yeah. So this is actually a great question, Arpit. So in GA4 we have 2 options as of now.
Okay.
So we have option in the GA4 premium version, in which we actually have to make purchase of the GA4 services. In that option, in that particular console, what we can do is we can create 3 types of properties.
Okay.
So first is the property, which can be used for the corporate website, and then we have the sub property, in which we can create the sub properties for the brands we have. Like that, as you said, like we have 5. Like there are some cases in which we have 5 plus websites, so we can create sub property for them. And if we fail to do it, we can create a rollover property as well.
Okay. So it's like global one.
Yes.
Okay.
So it will capture the data and move to the global suite.
Great. But that's a premium one. But as you know, a lot of our clients are on free. So any hope there?
Not a big hope, but yeah, we have the option. We can create multiple properties for them. Like as you said, like in Universal one, we have the option to create views. But in GA4, in the free version, we can create only the properties. And we can create the properties, and for the global one, in which we will have all the data from all the websites and how the users are navigating across the regional sites and the main website. And then we can create the regional sites as well.
Okay. So one property which sort of takes care of the global use case. And then individual properties for your brands or the microsites or marketing website, where you have the specific ownerships and people want to see just their data.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I think that's a great solution, Shahzad.
Yep.
Okay, so another thing which I believe is very common in any data migration project is that customer will tend to compare legacy system with the new system. And obviously, if you have a new system and new tracking mechanism, it's not always apple to apple. If I relate it in the Adobe world, right now we do a lot of app measurement based implementation migration to new web SDK. And I have faced those challenges as well. What about GA4? Have you seen similar instances, and how do you manage client expectations there?
Yeah. So again, a great question. So we face the similar challenges as well, and people tend to believe like if it is a product from similar company, same company, we will not see a lot of change. But in GA4 and the Universal Analytics, we have seen a change. Like we have seen like there are the changes in the dimension names. There are some dimensions have been removed from Universal to GA4 migration, but these can be covered. These can be figured out. It's not like if GA4 is not providing those metrics or the dimensions, it's not that like you cannot get it. You can control it by ownership. Like you can plan it out in your migration plan when you are planning out the data layer approach. Once you provide all those dimensions in the data layer approach and the data layer populates that values in the GA4 in the data layer, you can push it those values to the GA4 using GTM or other tag management tool you have in place.
So what you're suggesting is that figure out your important dimensions and metrics,
Yes.
and don't fully rely on out-of-the-box reporting, and really create a proper data layer approach and manage some of those dimensions and metrics through custom variables available in Google Analytics.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, because like there are some chances like even if the data is available, you might see that the data you are getting is not that accurate, which has been a problem for many of the marketers.
Okay.
So like they are not able to get the data. But if you plan out the custom dimensions and the metrics, you can see the data in the GA4.
All right. So I think the next topic is very close to the previous one, and it's all about data consistency. Generally speaking, any analytics tool will give you multiple options to view reports or extract data out. So for example, if I relate it again with the Adobe Word, because I'm closer to that platform, you've got workspace, you've got legacy reporting, you've got report builder, you've got data warehousing, you've got data feeds. And then one questions that we get from client is that even for the same tool stack, numbers don't match. We see some inconsistency. Now, if I relate this in the GA4 world, do you also have faced similar challenges, or it has been pretty consistent?
Yeah, we have faced challenges again in the same thing. Like as you said, like in your question as well, like it is pretty close to the previous question. So we face the similar challenges, and I can give you one example in that case. Like we have few of the clients who wanted to create a report in the Looker Studio for the GA4 instance, because they don't have that understanding like how to access or use the GA4 instance for now, because it is pretty new and it is quite a complex. So we try to give them the training, but they face some challenges. They were not able to see what they want to see in the reports.
Okay.
So what we did is, we were facing challenges in that case. Like we were seeing a different dimensions in the custom reports, which like GA4 has the option of the free-form reporting, the flow reports, the user flow reports. So we were creating the reports for the free-form, and we were having different dimensions, totally different dimensions.
Okay.
In that.
So what you see in Workspace doesn't really show up in Looker Studio?
No, not at all. So like, and the one funny thing is like, in the free-form report, that the dimensions we are seeing, we are not seeing in the predefined reports.
Okay.
And those predefined reports, dimensions, or the free-form reports, we were not even seeing in the Looker Studio report.
Okay. So what's the solution then?
Well, the solution lies in the previous answer, and that is you have to create a good approach in the data layers. If your data layer approach is correct, you can get all the data in the Looker Studio. Because
so again, data layer connects to some of your custom dimensions. You are not fully relying on the out-of-the-box reporting. You control your schema and data design, and accordingly, you know where exactly you will get the consistent data.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So Arpit, like I have one question, and it is a common, very very common one, and like common in the sense like many people are actually talking about it.
It's trending?
Yeah, because since the GA4 update, like the GA4 has come, and people are trying to hook up the Looker Studio report with GA4, so they can see the data in from GA4 in the Looker Studio, but they have been getting a quota error.
Okay.
So do we have any custom solution around it? Since you have been working with the data engineering team and building out a data platform, namely Dig Growth, do we have any custom solution about it?
We do have, and I'm really happy to give you a solution for this. So basically what's happening is, it's not the Looker Studio limitation. It is a limitation that GA4 has imposed, and Looker Studio is just the presentation layer. So what we really need is a middle layer between GA4 and Looker Studio that can manage the quota threshold limits that GA4 has created, still build that pipeline that doesn't breaks, and helps you connect your Looker Studio the way it was working previously in Universal Analytics. And what we have done on Dig Growth side, and it's open for everyone, we have built our own GA4 connector. And that really allows you, and that connector actually sits between GA4. It really talks to GA4 through the APIs, gets the data, refreshes it automatically, and then connects back to your Looker Studio. So no more quota error. Feel free to get more information on diggrowth.com.
So Arpit, like since you mentioned, like you have created the GA4 connector, do we have any connector for the Universal Analytics, since many of the clients or many of the users would want to export their historical data from Universal to some place safe? Since like we have created a custom utility through which we can create out the visualization report, and for the more important dimensions. But do we have anything in Dig Growth?
Yes, we also have Universal Analytics because we started back 15 months almost. So at that time, Universal Analytics was still pretty important. That's why we created Universal Analytics connector as well. And I think to your point, for saving the historical data, that would be a great utility, because you still want to store some of your historical data. You want to see those trend reports, and then that connector will really allow you to pick and choose dimensions that you care, the metrics that you want, and grab it through the API and store it either in Google Sheet or any of your destinations where you want to store it. So our default is S3. We send the data and store data in S3 bucket in AWS, but you have ability to store it to your preferred vendor.
Okay, you can actually create the visualization on Dig Growth platform as well as in the other platforms as well.
Yes, so we have like very limited reporting around website analytics because we are primarily overarching marketing analytics platform, but we still have all the raw data, which means that you feel free to just connect it to any other BI system, be it Tableau, be it Power BI, or Looker Studio.
Okay, nice.
With only 4 weeks left until the GA4 migration deadline, it is crucial to address the impending sunset of Universal Analytics announced by Google. So let's get started today to complete this crucial migration with Growth Natives.